Hello, everyone. This is Lee, also known as TR8 Vegas. I am here making this update video. It is October 3rd, 2025. It's a new month. I wanted to explain why I came out with a weekly video and then didn't come out with weekly videos afterward, and do a end of the month video for September, and just give you an update what's going on with my car. As you know, I was originally going to be in the Henderson Hot Rod Days today, which starts at 5 p.m. until 10 p.m. and then runs tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. I'm not anymore. I'll explain what's going on there. You probably already know. I've hinted to it. Um, and we'll just see what's going on. And yeah, I just wanted to come up with a video updating you guys and stuff, and just documenting my struggles with this car, right? Because see, my social media channel, I've got a YouTube, I've got an Instagram, I've got a TikTok, and I've got a Facebook. And under it's a page on Facebook. But if you search TR8 Vegas and you click on pages, it'll show me. Or if you go facebook.com/TR8 Vegas, it'll go directly to my page. It's not a personal profile, so you just like the page and then follow. Subscribe and hit the little notification icon, please, on YouTube. TikTok, you just follow me. And Instagram, same thing, follow me. I do have an X, but I don't actively use it because anything over a certain amount on text, rather than converting it to a long tweet like they used to do, you have to pay now to do that, have a premium profile. And they want a lot of video stuff. They don't want a lot of picture stuff and text stuff. So it's, I'm not really, I'm on there, but I'm not really active on there. I'm just on there to save my spot so no one steals my name. So there you go. The most stuff is going to come out on Facebook though and Instagram, just because it's easier to post, you know, more frequently there, and I can do regular text and I can do pictures. It's not like YouTube where I have to do a video and put a description. I can just do a regular post and update you guys what's going on. Um, so that's where you'll see the most updates. But I will try to stay pretty active on YouTube and Twitter as well. All right. That being said, so I had a small leak in this car with the gearbox, and I noticed it was ATF fluid. And the old owner probably didn't know when he took it into a classic shop, and I'm not going to mention the name of the shop, but I have all the paperwork. He had a lot of work done to it in a manual transmission maintenance thing. So they flushed out all the fluids and stuff, but they put ATF in there instead of what calls in the manual an 80-90 weight gear oil, which is a lot thicker than like regular red ATF. And over the years, even the Triumph company itself, before they went out of business in 1980, when they stopped making these and stuff in 1982, they came out with the service bulletin saying, well, 80-90 might be a little heavy, especially in the wintertime. It's not the best. It wears out quicker. Use something a little less, like I believe a 60-70 or something like that. But what everyone does is, over the years, obviously since 1982, they've had advancements in oil, and they have Pennzoil and GM that make synchro mesh, and everyone uses synchro mesh. So seeing a leak, I took it. I said, well, hopefully it's just because it's ATF fluid, and it's so thin. Maybe older seals and stuff, it's leaking out. So let's take it over to Amco. They were one of the places willing to work on my manual transmission. They flushed it all out and replaced the drain seal and the fill seal, plug seal, and put the synchromesh fluid in there. And it wasn't leaking after that. Yay! I went about 2 weeks, and then I noticed there was one drop on the ground. Parked it in front of my house overnight. I came out the next morning and I noticed there's a small drop on the ground. And I look, oh, yeah, there's the gearbox. It's right there. Okay, one drop. Big deal. been a couple of weeks, whatever. And then over the course of the next 2 weeks, we're at about a month now. Every couple days, I would see one drop, maybe two drops, one or two drops here or there, no big deal. In another month, I'll take it back and have them refill it, top it off, and we're done. A couple drops here and there. It's not a big deal. Turns out it was a bigger deal than I thought. Maybe I didn't like when I parked at stores and stuff. I always looked and I never really saw anything except one or two drops here and there. And it's a 2.1 liter system. One or two drops adds up, but not that much. So I wasn't too worried. But I guess when I was driving it and it was under pressure and I'm changing gears, it was probably leaking while I was driving it. And obviously, I'm not looking underneath while I'm driving the car. So it got to a point where I was driving down Las Vegas Boulevard, coming off the 215, which is at Town Square, made a left, coming down Las Vegas Boulevard to go to Mandalay Bay. And for a gig I'm at, because I got laid off from my job, they laid, what, about 60 of us off or something, reduction of workforce. My unemployment has been approved. I'm just waiting to get my money going and stuff. And so I was going to go do a part-time, temporary, like on-call thing I picked up at Mandalay Bay, which didn't work out because my car broke down. So much for that. But I was heading there. And so I was at the Las Vegas sign. I was in third gear and the light turned red because there's a pedestrian crossing there. So I stopped, put it in neutral. Light turns green, put it in first. I'm driving, go to push down the clutch, put it in second, and it won't shift down into second. Uh-oh. That's not good. So I'm almost down to Mandalay Bay Drive, which is where I was going to turn in to go down and go into the parking garage at Mandalay Bay. And there it is. I can't get it out of first gear. So I go into the turn lane. I'm at the red light and I'm my foot's fully down on the clutch, right? And I still can't pull it. Finally, it just like jumps and it's out of first gear. It's in neutral. Okay, we're in neutral. Take my foot off the clutch because, hey, we're in neutral. My car jumps, lunges forward about 5 feet, literally, like, boom, and dies. And I'm going, whoa, okay, it's still in first gear, even though the shifter says I'm not in first gear. I'm still in first gear. It's stuck in first gear. I'm like, shit. Luckily for me, there were some tourists passing by who said, hey, you want us to push you? Because there was construction cones in the middle lane. So there was one lane this way, one lane this way. And in the middle, this middle part was all construction cones and was blocked up. And I says, yeah, let's get me out of the Las Vegas Boulevard. I was going to turn on the street and went, push me between those cones. And I didn't even have to get out of the car, just got back and pushed me. Thank you so much, guys. I'm not sitting at a stoplight, right? In the back, I had some fold the cones. They're flat, but they pop out and they make a big like orange cone with all the reflective. Put those up in addition to the cones that were already there because of the construction zone. And luckily, there was no active construction going on in that exact area where I was, so I wasn't holding up anybody, and I wasn't blocking anything. And called the tow truck, and Amco said we'll take a look at it because they specialize in transmissions. They said got it over there, and they diagnosed it the same day. This was Tuesday, and I'm like, well, if they diagnose it quickly and I can get the parts, I can have it fixed by Friday. I can still do the Henderson Hot Rod Day show, which I'm already signed up for and ready to go. And I've already posted a picture on their event page and people are liking it. Oh, wow, cool. I'm getting messages. Nice car. Can't wait to see it in person. So excited. And then this happens on Tuesday and the show's Friday afternoon. But Amco knew that I was trying to do the show. They diagnosed it the same day. They said, look, okay, first of all, the reason you were having the leak is because the master and slave cylinder are leaking. Well, you need to have those replaced. And we called AutoZone, we called O'Reilly, we called all these places. No one has it in stock. You're going to have to find a part, but we'll replace it for you if you get the part. And obviously, we can't warranty the part, only the labor, right? And I says, yeah, okay, I understand. And I says, it's all over the internet, right? There Moss Motors. You've got all these British websites, even like eBay and stuff. Even Amazon, I think, has it. And they said, yeah, but we're not just going to trust some guy off eBay or Amazon or some third party website. And I said, I understand. So I went online. Obviously, I'm not just going to buy randomly off eBay or something. Nothing against buying it from a person instead of a big corporation, but this I want to make sure the parts are good parts, not used or trying to peddle as new or something. First thing that comes to mind when you think of British parts is obviously Moss Motors. They're the biggest, one of the biggest, and the Wedge Shop and others. So I went to them and they were out of stock on a master cylinder. I'm like, dang it. They had like a rebuild kit or something, and I said, I don't want. I want to just replace out the whole part. I ended up finding a site called the British Parts Store Northwest. You'll see the pictures on there. I believe it's britishpartsnorthwest.com. And they had brand new in stock the master and the slave, and they did overnight shipping. And I bought those along with the overnight shipping out the door, parts plus overnight shipping, $130 and change, between $130 and $140 for the parts plus overnight shipping. And I even got a clutch alignment tool or whatever, just for the hell of it. It was $5. That's why not. And I'm like, wow. So I ordered those Wednesday. They got there Thursday, and they replaced them on Thursday. And I'm thinking, yay! I'm still gonna be able to do this car show. Oh, thank you, Amco. They're the best, and they're the best. But when they called me up, and I says, oh, great, I can come pick up the car, and they're like, well, where are you towing it to? Huh? Towing? Well, no, no, no. I just got the parts and overnighted them. You guys fixed it. I got the car show tomorrow. I'm not towing it. I even designed custom cards and I sent them off to a printing company. And they're printing me 2,500 custom cards. Uh, well, it was stuck in first, right? I'm like, yeah, but I just replaced the master and slave cylinder. They're like, yeah, you did. So it's not leaking anymore, but it's still stuck in first. Your clutch is gone, man. You need a new clutch, and we don't work on these clutches. You need to find another shop that's going to replace the clutch for you when you buy the clutch. The car's not drivable right now. I mean, it's stuck in first gear. I'm going, oh, yeah, I kind of failed to realize that, huh? That was the original problem. So once the clutch gets fixed, I'm not going to have a leak anymore. But I got to replace the clutch still. Well, there goes the car show, and I don't have anywhere to tow it. I don't. He's like, look, don't tow it to your house. We'll keep it here a couple days. Find someone, go to the car show maybe even on Friday and Saturday, which I'm going there tomorrow with my shirt. And I'm gonna go around and see if someone will work on replacing a clutch for me. Because Pep Boys I know won't. Um, and I know that you know, obviously Amco said they won't. Now, shout out over the past month since I came out with the last video with the weekly update. The alternator thing was an issue. Pep Boys replaced the alternator for me. Turns out the one I got from AutoZone was defective. After a week, it stopped working. And so I went back to Pep Boys. They said it's probably an electrical issue. You know, parts that don't just stop working. We don't do electrical like that. But we'll replace the alternator. I says, okay, no problem. I went to Alternator Depot. They specialize in alternators, and I had them look at it. They said, well, actually, your wiring looks like it was already replaced, and yeah, it's a little warm when the car's running, but that's normal. It's a V8. It's the battery's in the back. The wire goes from the front to the back. So the wiring's can get it, but the wiring doesn't seem to like overload or anything, even when the car's hot. So we think that you just got a bad alternator from AutoZone. And it was like 2 days before the 30 days were up. So I said, oh, really quickly, let me take it back there. So what I did was I went and bought another one. It's a Duralast alternator. Took it to Alternator Depot. They switched it out, gave me the old one. I drove with the car because I was on the bus all this time because the car's at Alternator Depot. And so I drove with the car now back to AutoZone and returned the one. Now it's like on the 29th day, and I returned it under warranty. They refunded me, and there you go. And I've been driving it a month almost since that second alternator was put in with no issues. So shout out to Alternator Depot for helping me with that, um, and getting that fixed. Shout out to Quick's radiator. I did have a bypass hose that was dripping coolant, and then eventually it would drip all out and of the radiator and that little metal tank on top of the radiator, and my car would start overheating, so I have to pull over and add more directly in there because for some reason it's not taking from the overflow. And he's like, "Well, your bypass is out. That could be it." And the guy Quick's radiator says no one sells this bypass hose. It's a weird shape, and no one sells it because there's hardly any of these cars out there. You know, that from 78 to 82 they only made 2,750 total TR8s, and out of those they only made 481, and 82 was the last year before they closed down, and they only made 69. And out of those 69 there's maybe 10 of them still in existence that are like mine, fully operational and fully running, and all original. That's the original paint, the original bumpers. The tires were switched out in 82, but I have the original. The wheels were switched out in 82, but those were a optional upgrade that you could do through British Leyland or Moss Motors or whoever back in 82 was doing all their upgrades. So they upgraded and got the upgraded tires that were an option when you bought this car, brand new. So, but I had the original tires, but so those are still pretty much stock or OEM because they were the OEM upgrade. They weren't an aftermarket thing. They were an upgrade offered by British Leyland, offered by Triumph itself when you bought the car. And they bought that upgrade in 82, they came in. Um, so everything, the seats are all original. I did put seat covers, except when I do car shows and stuff, I take it off. Underneath the floor mats and the trunk mat, which were custom made with the Triumph logo and everything, though that's original carpet under there. So original windows and windshield and everything. So kind of cool. Um, but yeah, when you take a car that was driven less than 60 days over a course of 43 years, and I've been driving it for 90 days before I had this catastrophic failure in Mandalay Bay, in a row, and I'm driving it 90 days in a row now. And with the Vegas heat, it's been 110, 115, 118 up until a couple weeks ago. So, and I was driving it around every day to and from work in that. And on my days off, literally 7 days a week on my days off, I was helping my elderly friends. They're a couple, low income and all that, and he was a war vet and everything. So I helped them out. I take them shopping and different things. I was helping them, with their grocery runs every week and just different things. I was on my days off, I was driving the car too, so I drove it literally 7 days a week. So shout out to Quick's Radiator. They said even though no one seems to sell this hose, we'll fabricate one for you and make it work and get it replaced and no more leaks. And I've been driving. It's been about a month also since, because it happened kind of like back to back, the alternator and the radiator leak, and well, it was a hose leak, it was a bypass hose. So they got that hose replaced and it hasn't leaked since, and the car's been running great. So shout out to the two of them, but obviously they don't work on clutches. So I'm still looking for someone. I was at Las Vegas Auto Fest a couple weeks ago, as you guys know. I posted some pictures and stuff. I found this guy. I'm gonna call him as soon as I'm done with this video. I don't know if you can see that Aerotech. He mostly works on Mercedes, BMWs, and actual Land Rovers, not just a Triumph with the Rover engine. But he said at the Auto Fest, he's like, "Oh, you know what? No one's willing to work on that car. Don't worry, I got you. I'll work on it. Bring it to me, and we'll get you hooked up. Anytime you need something. Well, I need something now, so." Let's see, because the radiator thing and the alternator thing happened before Las Vegas Auto Fest. And at the same time, those were specialists in those fields. So, it's nice having a specialist. Should I have a electrical issue or in the future, any type of alternator issue. I do want to eventually get an upgraded alternator because I've only got a 36 amp OEM style one. and that way I can put aftermarket AC and stuff in there because it doesn't have AC. But you can get in, but it's got the vents because it's got heat already. It's got the vents in the car. So if I get an aftermarket AC installed, I'm gonna need a bigger alternator, and alternator depot will probably help me with that. They already said they would. So, and then of course, if I ever have any radiator issues, Quick's radiator, they specialize in it. But this guy said if there's anything that I can't find someone, go to him and he'll help me out. He doesn't normally work on these cars, but he'll make an exception for me. He really liked my car. And so I'm going to give him a call here in a minute. Otherwise, if you guys know anyone who works on clutches for this, I'm going to buy a really nice clutch. I went on Moss Motors. They seem to have the biggest selection of clutches for this car. And so I emailed them and I says, well, I know stage three is the best clutch, but it's like a racing clutch and stuff. And I'm not planning on racing this car. It's my daily driver. So just for daily use, doing 45 down the street, 65 on the freeway, not racing it, doing 150, 200 miles an hour, what would be the best? Even, and I'm all for buying the stage three clutch if they feel that's the best, also to use as a daily driver clutch. But they might say, well, this is a lot nicer, but it's made for racing and it's made for, limited applications going down the racing field, a couple times a month, not driving it every day as your daily driver. That maybe this one's better as a daily driver clutch. So also leave in the comments what you guys think I should, because I'm not the best when it comes to manual transmissions. Let me know what you think the best clutch for this car would be to buy to use as a daily driver. I don't want to buy something cheap, you know, that's going to wear out in a couple of years. I want something that's going to last another 43 years, right? Because that's the original clutch from 1982 in there still. So, I don't mind spending more money to get something better. If it is the stage three, great. If it's a stage two, but it's a certain type that's, more rugged than just a regular stage two, let me know. Let me know your opinions. What do you think is the most reliable clutch that I could get for this to use as a daily driver, knowing that it's got a V8 engine and it's a lot of power. So, um, maybe stage three is the best just because it's a high power car and those are made for more high power, high torque engines and stuff. So let me know about that. Leave that in the comments. And if you know anyone who's willing to work on it for me, leave that in the comments too. Although I'm gonna call this guy, and if not, I'll look around. So I'll refer to the comments and see what we can, what we can find. Here in Las Vegas, preferred though, I guess I could get the car shipped somewhere if it really comes to that. But there's got to be someone in Vegas who can replace a clutch. I mean, yes, it's a rare and unique car, and yes, there was only 69 of them made, but there was 2750 made over the course of the 4 years. They're all very similar. They're very similar to a TR7, at least in the body style. The engine's totally different, but the body style. But I believe the clutch is the same in the TR7 and the TR8. So there you go. And it is a Rover V8. It's a Land Rover V8. It was Rover. It was Triumph, Rover, Jaguars. So they did the Triumphs, British Leyland, they did the Land Rovers, and they did the Jaguars back in those years. So I mean, this is a Land Rover engine. So in a way, kind of you fix it as if you were fixing a Land Rover, except it's in a Triumph body, right? That's why it's so fast and loud because it's the V8 Land Rover engine made for a big hunk of heavy SUV type car, not a small sporty car like this, right around 2,000 pounds or less. So I was all happy I was going to do this Henderson Hot Rod Days, and then I went from here down to here real quick, realizing, oh yeah, there's still that clutch issue. I just fixed the leak, which was causing the issue that caused the clutch to go out. So now it's not going to be leaking anymore, but I've still got to replace the clutch. So obviously I'm not doing Henderson Hot Rod Days. I'll have to do it next year. Kind of sucks. Yeah, they give out a lot of nice awards and stuff, but I don't do car shows for the awards. I do it to show off my car. And I've got two options, right? I could get another car as a daily driver, let this sit in storage like the past two owners have done. And between the two past owners that they drove it between the both of them combined less than 60 days over the course of 43 years. And I says, So this car's only been out on the road about what? I think the first one was like 30 something days and the second one was like 20 something days. So between the two of you, this has only been out like 50, 60 times. I'm like, these things are rare. This should be enjoyed by people. No wonder people think Triumph sucks and their cars were shit and da 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 da. You know? I'm out to prove differently. I drove it for 90 days without hardly any issues. Okay, a hose goes out, you replace it. Okay, an alternator goes out, you replace it. You screw it up, you unplug it, you screw in a new one and plug it in. I mean, it's not rocket science. Come on, all cars have an alternator and hoses that go out. And the clutch went out because I had a leak, and I didn't think the leak was as bad as it was. And it ran out of, or ran very low in gear oil and got stuck. That's my fault. That's not the car's fault. 43 years, the clutch was still going great. Yeah, okay, the cylinders, the master and slave cylinders were leaking, but you could add, you can keep topping it off and let them leak. But those were easy to replace, $130. British Parts Northwest, shout out to them. With shipping, the shipping and everything overnight got it out the door. Shipping included for about 130, $135. Come on. It's not expensive. These cars are the parts aren't expensive. They're just hard to come by. And sure, some parts the clutch is not going to be cheap, but it is what it is. That's my fault, not the car's fault. The car's been very reliable. It's a great car, man. Rock solid. That's a solid rubber bumper, 6 inches or more thick. Trust you me, someone hits me, their car's gonna fold up like an accordion. I don't got no styrofoam and plastic on my bumper, and it's the same in the back. Solid rear bumper, solid unibody, one solid body, all metal. Right? Good luck, man. I mean, I don't want to get in an accident. I'm not juju. I don't want bad juju. I'm not trying to jinx me or knock on wood. Right? But, you know, if I do, I'm more worried about their car than I am mine. Crazy. But yeah, so let me know about that. So I do have to fix the clutch. Once I get the clutch replaced, boom, everything's going to be done. Everything's going to be good. And I'll start driving it again. So sorry I haven't done a lot of update videos because there hasn't really been a lot going on other than the alternator, which I did make a video on that. And with Pep Boys, it went out again, and I went to Alternator Depot and had another one put in. The second one's working great. And the hose, the bypass hose, Quicks radiator. Shout out to them. Alternator Depot is who did my alternator. They're on Lamb and Sahara. And then Quick's Radiator is on Las Vegas Boulevard in Cheyenne, right there by CSN, the Cheyenne College campus. And shout out to them. They had my hose fixed in 2 hours. So hey, cool. 2 hours, $200. Boom. Had a new hose put on there. And they had to obviously custom do the hose somehow, shape it or form it to make it work for the car because it was a bendy hose. But it was a rubber hose and they made it happen. And shout out to this guy at Aerotech if he's really going to work on my car like he said. Because now I need someone, so we'll see if he comes in clutch. Because I can tell you how many people I call, oh, that car's too rare. Oh, I didn't even know they made them in '82. Oh no, we don't work on Triumphs. Oh no, that's too old, or this too old, too this, too that. You don't know how many people I called when I had the alternator and the radiator issue. It's like, come on, guys, seriously? It's a freaking alternator. It's a freaking radiator hose. Come on, man. What are you scared of? Are you? eh, I almost feel like there's so many mechanics out here who aren't good mechanics, or maybe they're decent mechanics, but they're not really, really good mechanics. Because if they were, they would say, well, hell, this engine's easy to work on. It's just a Land Rover V8 engine. And they kept this same, more or less, engine all the way up through the 90s into the early 2000s before it was changed around. I mean, come on. This is a very common engine. It's not a common car, but this engine is a very common engine and it's stock. I didn't have obviously the whole bottom end was redone. You saw my introduction videos. A lot of the wiring was redone. A new distributor was put on. A new capacitor was put on. It had a lot of new parts put on because parts age and get old and break, but that's just part of keeping it running, right? It's still OEM parts. They're not like, aftermarket parts, or shoddy 2-bit parts. Everyone before me who also had work done on this car bought quality parts when something went out and they had it replaced. So, I mean, this car shouldn't be hard to work on if you know what you're doing. If you know how to work on a manual transmission on something that doesn't have a bunch of computers, well, you don't have an ODB2 port to stick your freaking computer in there. Oh, here's everything that's wrong. You have to actually look at it and figure out what's wrong. But you have a distributor, you have the capacitor, I think it is, right, where everything plugs into. You've got your spark plugs, you've got your clutch and your brakes, and that's it. Your fuel injection. Not a lot to go out on it. And it's when something happens, you can pretty much know, okay, well, it's related to this. Bada bada bing. You don't, oh, something's wrong. It's electrical. It could be this. It could be that chip. It could be that. It could be that. I've had people with $300,000 Maseratis where it's a little tiny little computer chip that goes out. And it takes them a month to diagnose it because you have to trace everything, and finally you realize it's this little chip connected to the circuit board. It's like crazy, man. You don't have those problems with this car. Everything's mechanical and everything's laid out right there. So once I get the clutch fixed, I'll be making some more videos. I plan to start making weekly videos. I want to do some driving videos. Obviously, I don't really have a lot of money. I'm on unemployment. I was laid off. They laid about 6 years of us off at my job. Vegas isn't slow, but it's slower than it's been the last couple of years. If you compare it to 10 years ago, you compare it to 2019 before COVID, we're actually busier than we were back then. But it's still slower than it's been the last couple of years. So we didn't have a lot of tours where I was at. It was a sales job, timeshare, and I got laid off. I'm not trying to get back into timeshare, because it's very low pay and it's only good pay when you sell. I'm trying to get more into computer stuff. I'm Dell Level 2 certified computer technician, Cisco A plus. I got my CompTIA, um, a Novell, which who does Novell now? MSCP and all that stuff. So I got all my certifications and stuff. I've been working on computers my whole life. I just decided after COVID, when everything shut down and I wasn't really doing that kind of work anymore, and I was working 4.5 years at a job who sold to another company, and I was CIO, and they brought in their own CIO from their company and laid me off because we're bringing in our own management. So I lost that job 4.5 years. I'm trying to make a career somewhere. I'll take a job, but I'm trying to really make something a career where I can stay at longevity. But at this point, I'll consider anything. You can email me, tr8vegas@gmail.com. I'm not going to put my personal email out there because I don't want a bunch of spam. So I'll put the car's email out there, but that's me. I'm the only one who checks that email. So tr8, right? Triumph tr8. So just the letters tr, the number 8, Vegas@gmail.com. All one word. Um, and let me know if you know someone who's hiring. Preferably 25, 30 an hour or more, but I'll consider going a little less. I understand that, the economy and different things and stuff. Times are tough, but I don't want to work at some random call center, which I could do that with my eyes closed. I've managed call centers before, but most of them around here pay 15, 13. I've seen one or two that pay 18, but that's still not a lot of money. When you're doing part time for 18 an hour, forget it. I want something full time if I can, and I want good money. Not minimum wage or under 20 an hour, where even if you work 40 hours, what are you really making? How can you can't afford much at that. I don't want, you know what I mean? I was making 25 an hour managing a Dell call center back in 2001. Um, Making 25 an hour back then in 2001, 24 years ago. So, I'm not trying to really go under 20 an hour, but I'll consider stuff. The job I was at with the timeshare was obviously minimum wage, but they had commissions, and I sold every now and then, and with the commissions it ended up being pretty decent. So but like I said, I'm not really trying to do that again. I'm trying to go back to my core of computer stuff and on digital marketing, SEO, social media. I'm great with that as well. So I managed that for many companies over my lifetime. So I would consider stuff like that too. Just if you know anybody, Send them my information. I can send you my resume. I'm on Indeed. If you go to Indeed, just search League Group, or you can go to LinkedIn, linkedin.com, and then slash in, and then slash League Group. That's my profile on LinkedIn, and you can see all my literally every job I've worked at ever since I was 16 and got my first job. Well, actually 13, helping even less than that, helping in my mom's answering and secretary service. But I don't consider that a job. I was just helping my mom out. What kid doesn't help their mom out at their mom's business or their dad's business, right? But so technically, I started working around 9 or 10, if you want to count all the answering and secretarial service. But the first job outside of my mom's businesses was 1996. I was 16, so I've got literally every job listed from there forward. Um, so yeah, thank you so much. And like I said, I'll try and save up some money and get a dash cam and get some driving videos. I'm more worried about fixing the car right now. Since I was laid off, I'm on unemployment. I'm waiting to get my first check. Once that hits, I'll have some money, but I've got a lot of bills, storage and phone and different things to pay. So, plus my dad for helping me out, with getting this car towed, because I've been depleting my savings fixing this car up over the past month, because when I got laid off, that's right when, okay, now the alternator went out. Okay, now the hose went out. And so it ate away my savings. So I didn't have enough to get a tow. Luckily, my dad helped me out with that. I needed to get him paid back and stuff. And yeah, so once I get this car fixed, hopefully within the next few weeks here, I'll make another update and I'll try and get some driving videos, save up some money and get a dash cam. I want a dash cam anyways, just in case there's an accident. Boom, here's the proof. The dash cam saved me when I got into an accident. By the way, my teeth, everyone wants to know what's going on. So I was in an accident, hit the steering wheel. I was doing 45. I wasn't speeding, but a guy ran a red light at nighttime with his headlights turned off. And so I was going down the street, and here's the 215. So you've got the entrance, and then you've got the exit down here. The exit, okay, the light for me to go straight was green. This light was red. This light turned green. This light, again, is already green, and I'm back here. So this light turned green, and I started going. By the time I got to this light, it's still green for me. So I'm doing almost 45. I think my dash cam showed I was doing 43 at the point of collision because I was trying to get up to 45. And that's the speed limit. And then here comes this guy through the red light. And my light's been green. It didn't just turn green 2 seconds ago. It's been green for a long time. And no let, boom, right in front of me. Boom, I hit him. So knocked a lot of my teeth out. It's cheaper to, even though he's paying for it, his insurance is paying for it. The idea was it's better to just take them all out than try and fix them up. They were too. I already had teeth issues, different cavities and stuff that I had going on. So I had a lot of rotten stuff going on that they said, look, between this and that, fixing all this up, and let's just take him out and we'll get you dentures or implants. But his insurance wasn't going to cover the implants, so dentures it is. So in a couple weeks, I'm going to go and get some dentures. But yeah, so that's what's going on there. Just so you know, $85,000 Mercedes 2015 ML 400. And next thing you know, the insurance says, oh, it's got 100,000 miles, which is nothing for a 2015. But to them, I guess it was enough to say depreciation, this, that. They consider 100,000 high miles, which I don't know how. That's less than 10,000 miles a year. Are you kidding me? Which technically, I got the car in technically it's a 14 car that was sold as a 15 model year. So and it's 2025, it's 11 years old, and I only had 99 something on the speedometer. But because of the quote unquote high mileage and the damages, they were going to total it, and with the high mileage and everything, they only gave me 10,000. And I think because I had custom floor mats and a custom dash man, different things, out the door like 11 something, 11,250 or something like that. It was crazy. So what am I going to do with that? So I used that money to help buy this car right here. Yeah. And I says, I had an 81 Triumph years ago, sold it, regretted it ever since, saw this on the market. I'm like, low mileage. It's at 45,000 miles, 78,000 kilometers because it was shipped to Canada, all 69 of them. So it was shipped to Canada, imported into the US, sold brand new to the first owner in New York who lived in Pennsylvania. Garage kept it his entire time. Sold it to the second guy in Oklahoma. Garage kept it the entire time. And then I got it. And it's at 48,000 kilometers. And that's with all the driving I've been doing the past 3 months as a daily driver. So very low mileage. I had to get this car. I love it. It's very reliable. The clutch was my fault because I did see it dripping, didn't think it was as bad as it was, which turns out I was wrong. And the fluid got low enough to where it locked in and got stuck. So that's totally my fault. If I would have taken it back to Amco and said, hey, it's still dripping a little bit, can you top it off? I don't have the money right now to replace to fix the dripping issue, but can we top it up just to make sure it doesn't get too low? I could have gone back to them and they, $100, they flushed it out and fully replaced it, topping it off, they would have probably charged less. So, I mean, I could have done that and prevented this whole thing, but I didn't think it was that bad. And turns out it was. So it's my fault. I take full responsibility. It is what it is, man, but I got a uh, brand new slave and master cylinder in there, so the leak stopped. I just need to figure out what the best clutch is to buy for a daily driver, most reliable for a daily driver. Not necessarily, I mean, a racing clutch might, stage three racing clutch might be the best clutch, even though I'm using it as a daily driver. Whatever anyone who knows about clutches and stuff, tell me, is a stage three racing clutch really good to use as a daily driver clutch as well? Or is it more tuned for racing for infrequent use and maybe there's something better for a daily driver clutch? And then, of course, for my car. But just clutches in general, right? So let me know down in the comments. I'm not the best when it comes to clutches, and I don't know that much about them. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for listening to this update. Share with anyone you can. If you know any shop in town or a friend or something that replaces clutches, have them reach out. You got my email, tr8vegas@gmail.com. Follow me and like my page and follow me on Facebook, please. Facebook.com/tr8vegas, or just go to Facebook, click on pages, and then under pages, search tr8vegas. I'm the only one. YouTube, same thing, TR8 Vegas. It's youtube.com/the at symbol and then TR8 Vegas. Or you can just go to YouTube, search TR8 Vegas. Again, I'm the only one with that username. You'll find me really quick. Please like and subscribe. Is it with the little bell? Follow and subscribe or whatever. And also follow me on TikTok and on Instagram, please. And thank you very much for trying to get my following up. I mean, there's only probably from everything I found online about 10 of these 1982s left fully operational and running like mine, although mine's not running right now. It will be once I get the clutch replaced. None of them, not a single TRA from 78 all the way to 82, not a single one of the 2,750 they made total over the lifespan of the TR8, not counting 82 where there's only 69 and maybe about 10 left. But out of all the TR8s ever made, no one online that I see is using it as a daily driver. TR7s, I found one or two where they're kind of half using it as a daily driver, but they have another vehicle, so they're not really driving it every day like me, where it's your only vehicle. So um, I'm trying to just be as honest as I can and chronicleize the daily life of owning a car that people kick to the curb, and that's why there's not really. That's why there's probably only like 10 of them, or I think even less, out there that are still fully running because people thought, oh, these cars aren't reliable. They had overheating, they had electrical, but new radiator was put in from the previous owners, and it doesn't overheat. It had all new wiring put in. The wiring's good. Had new distributor put in, new capacitor. I mean, this car, everything that was wrong with it has already been replaced and resolved, and it doesn't have any of those issues. Once you fix the few issues it had when it first came out, this car is as reliable as any car, if not more reliable, because it doesn't have a bunch of computers and junk in there to go out. Where you got a $300,000 car and a month later you realize it's a little chip that was causing your problem that's stuck on, of all places, the circuit board. Who would have thunk, right? and the chips embedded in the circuit board, so you have to rebuy the whole fuse board with all the fuses to get a new chip. And then the new chip, my friend actually had this issue with his car online. Um, it was a Maserati, but anyways, yeah, and he replaced the whole board, but the chip in the new board, even though it was the same chip as in the old board, it wasn't programmed correctly, and Maserati wouldn't just reprogram. Oh, here's a random board, reprogram it for me with this bin, so it didn't recognize the bin, so the alarm was still going off and not letting him start the car. It was, oh my gosh, it was a mess. It took him over a month to fix that. And even find out what the issue was, it took them like a week or two just to find out it was this little chip causing the problem that was embedded inside of the board where all the fuses are. It's a mess. This car's so easy. It's mechanical. Everything's laid out right in front of you. You got the clutch with its master and slave cylinder. You got all the rods, with the what do you call it? The spark plugs on top. You got the distributor and is it the capacitor thing? uh that everything plugged that little the little canister thing looking thing. And that's it. You got the brake system and the coolant system. I mean, it's so easy to work on. But I don't understand. It's like I don't understand mechanics out here in Vegas, and it's this car's so easy to work on. But it's either A, you guys don't think you're good enough, and you don't want to fuck up working on my car, or B, you just don't. Well, the car is very rare and it's very old, and we just don't want to. We don't want to make time to work on it. Or C, you just suck and you don't know how to work on it. If you can't work on a car that's not new with all these, I mean, I'm sorry, I don't have a OBD2 port you can plug in and let the computer tell you what's wrong with the car. You have to actually look at it. But I mean, hello, it's not rocket science. It's stuck in first gear. Oh, it's a clutch issue. I don't need an OBD port to tell you that. Right? I mean, this car doesn't have computers that go out, so you don't need a computer to diagnose the issue with it. When the radiator was leaking, obviously it's not the radiator, it's coming from right here. There's a couple hoses there. It's a hose leak. And yeah, I took it to the radiator place. They found the hose that was bypass hose that was leaking. Quicks radiators had it replaced in 2 hours. Come on, man. The car's not hard to work on. So hopefully the Zero Tech guy works on the car and I'll buy the clutch when I save up some money because obviously I'm waiting for my unemployment to kick in. And I have to save up, I don't want to just buy the cheapest thing on there. So I'm going to be on the bus the next couple weeks, so you won't see a lot of updates. But as soon as I can, I will update you guys. And I am planning on coming out with more uh, consistent updates and doing weekly updates and stuff like that as I start going on. There's just been a lot going on the last couple of weeks with my job, and other than those two small issues, nothing else really happened with the car until the clutch went out, and I made a video right on the spot on that. And man, it's just, not, I'm not working at all now, so I'll have a lot more time. I am still looking for a job though. Okay. I don't want everyone out there to think, oh, he just wants to get 1 million followers and make $1,000 a month on ad revenues and not work. I mean, that would be nice. Then I could drive this car all over the country and have it shipped in cargo containers and stuff and drive it all over the world. And it literally, if this channel becomes popular enough on YouTube and Twitter, no, not Twitter. I don't do Twitter. They charge extra to put long tweets and they want a lot of videos versus pictures and stuff. And so I'm on there, but I don't really post there much. But YouTube definitely, Facebook, definitely my Facebook page. Okay, not my personal profile. That's for my friends and family, but the actual page for the car. Facebook.com/TR8 Vegas, Instagram, and TikTok. Those four. If I could really get a lot of subscribers and make enough money, I will do nothing but drive this car every day, all day, and do big road trips and travel the country showing it in all these different road shows and go to England, and the UK, Britain and stuff where the car was made and do shows out there and stuff with it where, there's other TR8 owners out there who do car shows just for TR8s. And stuff like that. So if it gets to that, that would be awesome. I would love that, guys. Okay, but outside of that, I'm definitely looking for a job that I can make a career out of and work at for the next couple decades until I retire. So it's not that I don't like this car and don't want to do the other thing full time. where I'm just doing my car and posting 3 or 4 times a day on my car with videos and content and stuff. I just haven't gotten there yet. And, I don't have enough followers and I don't have that income. And unemployment doesn't last forever. You only get it for so many weeks and then it cuts out. And then what? Then I'm going to be homeless, uh, and I'm going to lose my storage, with all my stuff in there. And when you don't have money, you don't have a phone because you can't pay for the phone service. Good luck finding a job where they go to call you for an interview or something and do do do, or something like that, right? Or this number has been temporarily disconnected or whatever you get when you don't pay your phone bill and they shut your service off. So I'm not trying to do that. So I am looking right now for a career, preferably in IT, something that I can, like I said, make a career out of. I don't want just like I'll take a a seasonal job or this or that, but ultimately I'm looking for a full-time job. And if it's over 40 hours, I'll work overtime. That's fine with me. I don't mind weekends and stuff. So. And I don't mind going out in the field or having my own cubicle and just sitting in my cubicle and doing my thing, with people calling in and diagnosing and remoting in and fixing problems and whatever you want, I'll do it. Social media, SEO, digital marketing, I'll consider that. I worked at one point for Tobin Dodge, the chopper, Josh Tobin, back before, his parents died and stuff. And, he had the big thing at the when the big ceremony after the funeral. It was a sad day, man. But I worked with him, and then that's right 2007 when the recession happened. He had his TV show and everything on A&E, King of Cars and Blue Genie and all that. And I was DJing all his events, and I was actually get this. I was DJ. We can't sell cars on Sunday. It's illegal here in Henderson and Vegas, right? So a lot of the dealerships close down on Sunday, right? I think it's more of a thing in Henderson than in Vegas, but this was obviously in Henderson. So all the dealerships were required to be closed on Sunday. You couldn't sell. You couldn't even like talk to people about selling cars, right? And they would send undercover agents there to make sure that, if someone's there, they're not trying to tell you prices and sell you cars and all that. So I would go there on Sunday and DJ and provide hot dogs, have like a little barbecue and, well, big barbecue, but you know what I mean. I'd been make 1,000 hot dogs and I had bottles of water and ice buckets and stuff. And I put up a tent and I'm out there DJing and people are coming and asking about this car, that car, because they come on Sunday figuring no one's going to be there. We won't get hassled. Let's look around when no one's there. I'm there, so they start asking me questions. Oh, I'm sorry, we can't. The law says we can't do anything on Sunday, but here's my card. Come back and see me Monday to Saturday. Hey! And I believe it or not, I got so many sales by so many sales by going there on Sunday and people coming back and asking for me. And the other side people were like, how do you get so many people coming back asking for you? Well, number one, I do digital marketing and stuff. And back then, 2007, right? It was MySpace days. And well, this was 2006, right? 2007 is when I got laid off. But I was there for like a year. So I was all over MySpace and Craigslist back then was huge. And I was putting ads everywhere. Come and see me. I'll give you the best deal. This, that, the. So that alone brought me people. But then the Sunday thing really got me people. And Josh, Josh Tobin, the chopper, he was like, whoa. Dude, this Sunday thing's killing it. Here, man, he upgraded. He upgraded. I was cooking steaks there for a while and stuff. He said, "Hot dogs, man. I'm gonna personally bring over some steaks and stuff for you to grill up, man. We're gonna treat these people like royalty. They're gonna come back, cash in hand, ready to buy." My gosh, I was the only person in Vegas and Henderson doing that on Sundays, and technically, I wasn't selling cars. I was providing entertainment. Here's a card. Come and see me. Can't talk right now. And they came back. It was amazing. Why no one thought of that before me? I mean, I'm sure everyone's doing it now, right? I don't know. I'm not haven't been in the car since, but he's like, you're the first person to think of that, and it's ingenious. He's like, why didn't I think of that? I'm like, I don't know, but I thought of it. Too bad he didn't have his TV show anymore at that time. It just ended. Um, That would have made good content for the TV show. Seeing me DJ on a Sunday when the whole dealership's closed down, and here I am handing out business cards, having people come back to asking for me direct. Anyways, point is, all right. So the point being is, I'm open to more than computer stuff, although I would prefer jobs something computer wise. Um, Preferably 20 an hour or more. I was, as I said, I was making 25 an hour 4 years ago as a at a call center working as a Dell level 2 representative and then managing the call center. So, but send me what you got if you know someone who's hiring or you're hiring. TR8 Vegas, TR the number 8 Vegas at gmail.com. TR8 Vegas at gmail.com. And if you know someone, like I said, who can fix the car or know someone who maybe even sells clutches here locally that has a good clutch for this car, uh, reach out to me, TR8 Vegas at gmail.com, and let me know. And I'll be back as soon as my car gets fixed and everything is good. I'm going to be on the bus until then. Um, yeah. Other than that, I mean, the car's been running good. Other than that, the clutch, it was all my fault for letting the fluid run low. Totally my fault. I get about 18 to 20 miles a gallon. It came naturally as a fuel injected and I didn't switch it to carbureted. So I'm getting about 18 to 20 miles a gallon. And for an old car like this with a V8 that's so fast and loud, I mean, wow, that's unheard of gas mileage for a V8 engine. That's crazy. Crazy. So, I love the car, man. I love it. It's my baby. She's my girl. Right? I don't have a girlfriend, so there's my girlfriend now. But yeah, so I'll come up with an update in a couple weeks, hopefully, when I get my unemployment, start saving up some money, and I'm able to buy the clutch, find someone to fix it, pay them, and get it fixed. And then hopefully I'll be able to do more car shows in the future. Thank you, Las Vegas Auto Fest, for having me. Las Vegas Contours, I was gonna do that, but I was like 10 days late on putting in my application. I didn't realize, I didn't even know it existed, and when I did, it was already 10 days past the deadline to enter your car to be shown. So of course they denied my application. So I didn't do that, but next year I'll definitely apply early enough and go there to do that. Las Vegas Contours at the Win. And obviously, I'm going to do Las Vegas Auto Fest again next year. And next year, I am going to do the Las Vegas, or excuse me, the Henderson Hot Rod Days. I am going to enter that next year, providing my car doesn't break down again, literally right before the show, and I don't have time or resources to fix it. I did get the new Masters and Slave cylinder. Shout out to Amco for that. Now I'm going to get the clutch and then boom, I'll have everything and it won't be leaking anymore down there. So yay! So shout out for that. So once I get that done and the car's up and running again, I'm either going to go from Amco to another shop if I can get the money by next week. If not, if I don't get enough money by next week to have it fixed, I'm going to tow it back to my house, save up a couple weeks, and then buy the clutch and tow it to the place to get repaired. So I'll come out with more updates as time goes on. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for the likes and the follows. Share my page. I guarantee you I'm the only one in the world with a original stock TR8, Triumph TR8, that is using it as their daily driver. And that's of all the TR8s out there. When it comes to the 1982s, forget about it. Forget about it. I mean, from all the research I've done, I can't even find 10 or more of these that are even still running, let alone as a daily driver. But I'm going to take care of this car. It's never been to a car wash in 43 years. I'm not going to put it in a car wash. I'm going to hand wash it. I'm using all the best graphene and ceramic coatings and all the stuff. Um, I forget what it is. One something one. It's this really good stuff that protects it from UV rays and creates a really scratch resistant coating and stuff because that's the original paint. Um, Maxel One, that's what it is. MAXL1. Um, and that stuff works amazing on top of what I've already put on there. And eventually I want to go to a professional and have the paint touched up. I actually have the original touch-up paint that the original owner bought when he bought the car. He bought touch-up paint for it. So I've got that. So I do want to go and get the touch-up paint put in a few areas where it needs it and get the paint in the perfect condition. Do a clay bar and then go to a professional shop to get like even a professional coating on it, ceramic or graphene or both, because I've got both in there right now, but I've kind of done those myself with spray stuff. And this Maxa one is amazing. I mean, it looks so amazing. But yeah, I'm keeping it garage kept, obviously, as well. But I mean, I'm hand washing it. And I've got all these coatings on there to keep the UV rays from fading it and stuff like that. So I even put special coatings on the bumper. You can see how, you know, this is when it first came to me. It looks even blacker. I've totally restored the bumper with that I use Cerakote, the trim restorer, and I even put like a special trim UV resistant coating on there as well. I think that was also Cerakote. So the plastic here, along here. Geez, it's not letting me with my finger. This plastic, hard plastic, and this bumper below it, this and this, there you go, has both been restored with a bunch of conditioners, and it looks like brand new, like factory new. So I mean, it looked pretty good when I got it, but you could see he had like some license plate there he took off. I took those screws out. I don't have a license plate there now, but that square little mark is gone. I totally buffed that out. So I mean, the car's looking literally, uh, it was looking good when it came to me. It was looking even better, and I'm going to keep this car in tip-top shape, and I'm going to drive it as long as I can, and until the body like snaps in half or something, and it's just literally unfixable. There's a lot of unattainable parts for it, but they can be custom made. They can be found on some of these British or to Triumph forums in different places, or I'll have one custom made. I'll figure it out, man. But I am gonna keep this car, and I hope y'all follow me in my journey in doing that, because everyone talks about how unreliable these are, but the bottom end was already redone. Everything was already redone. New radiator, new that's not uh gonna rust with water, and it's bigger, and the car doesn't have overheating issues. If I can drive it around for a month and a half in 115 plus degree days every day for a month and a half straight, because it's gotten cooler since, but it was at least a month and a half I was driving it for with it being around 115 or higher. If I can do that, and the car, and the worst thing that's happened to it is the clutch, because I had a leak and didn't get it filled, and the fluid ran low and it got stuck and broke the clutch. Then I think I'm doing pretty good. I think this is pretty reliable. I'm going to put an aftermarket AC, get a bigger alternator so I can do that. And next year I'm going to have AC in this car. It's already got the vents inside up in here. It's already got the vents because it does have heat. So I just need to put the compressor and different things, squeeze it in there. And I know people have done it with these in the TR7s as well, because it's the same body. And we'll have an AC. Once I save up the money in springtime, I'll get that done for next summer when it gets hot again. But it's cooling down now. I have the top down. It's an amazing car. I love it, and I hope you guys are going to love it with me. And I hope you guys follow me with my journey and taking one of the rarest cars in the world, and one of the rarest production cars in the world, right? This isn't a one of one. Oh, okay, that's my I ran out of there was one recording, and this is the second recording, and I'm going to combine them. Um Sorry about that. So it was converting the Zoom recording into a video file for the last one, and then this one, and I'm going to convert them, combine them into one. So I mean, this isn't a one-on-one. Yes, there are cars that are rarer than this, $2-3 million cars that are a one-on-one. That it doesn't get more rare than that. But for a production car, right? For a car that was mass produced and sold literally in every country all over the world, right? That was made in the UK, and there's not a lot of cars that are made in the UK to begin with, right? For a car that only had 2,750 made ever over all time, let alone 69 just the last year, which mine is the last year, right? I mean, this is one of the most rare production cars in the entire world. And no one, and I dare you guys, because I've been looking for the past 3 months, no one is using a TR8 as their daily driver. They might have had a TR7 that they converted and it's a pretend TR8 because there's a lot of TR7 conversions. They're fake TR8s because they were converted. They were originally a TR7, right? Look at the registration, it's TR7. Okay, but it says TR8. Hey, well, I can buy the stickers too, and put a TR8 sticker. That doesn't make it a TR8 because you got a sticker on there. Mine came original as a TR8. It's an original TR8, not a conversion. I'm the only one using a TR8 as their daily driver, and I wanted to share this journey with you guys as I take this car that a lot of people don't even recognize. Like, what's that? I've never seen that before. Did you have that custom made? Is that like a 101 or something? I'm like, no. It's a production car. It's just from the 80s. But I was driving since 75. In 1982 I went to the dealership and I looked at all the cars and I didn't even see dealerships with this car here. No, because it was all sent to Canada. There weren't any. I mean, there was maybe one or two that sold them, and they imported them from Canada and sold them, but most of those were in like the eastern US. And a lot of those cars have so much rust and rot from the salt and all the rain and this and that and the temperature fluctuations. They weren't kept always in the garage like my car was ever since it was bought. Both owners' garage kept it as I'm doing. So, I mean, so a lot of the TR8s turned into parts cars because of all the rust and rot, because they weren't garage kept and they weren't climate controlled and all that, and humidity controlled and all that. We don't have a lot of humidity. We have zero salt out here in Vegas because it doesn't snow here. When it does, it's a few flakes and it's melted and dried up in an hour or two. So I'm planning on keeping this car another 43 years. Watch. I'm already the only one using it as a daily driver, but imagine 10 or 15 years from now. Oh man, people are going to be going, how long have you been using that as your daily driver? No effing way. You got to be shitting me. What? And it's still running? What? And it still looks like new? What? 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 Yeah, man, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm planning on setting records with this car, man. Yeah, and to prove that, if you replace the OEM parts with OEM parts that are just a little bit higher quality and stuff, right? To switch them out for newer production parts that aren't originally from the 80s, like when they put the radiator in there, it looks just like the old radiator. You couldn't tell the difference except it's not aluminum and it's got more room inside and it cools down the car better. So it is a stock radiator, right? But obviously it's not the one that was originally came with the car in 82 because that one broke. It got a leak. So he had to replace the radiator. He didn't want to fix it. He wanted to replace it and replace it with the stock radiator. But it's a newer one and it's better and it's the car's not overheating or nothing. So there you go, man. So you get some good parts in here. This car can be a really reliable car. 6-inch rubber bumpers, solid unibody metal body. Someone hits me, their car's going to fold up like an accordion with their plastic and styrofoam bumpers. Good luck! And your plastic doors and shit. This thing is built to last, man. And it is going to last. And I'm going to take good care of it. She's my baby. And you guys are going to see it. I hope someday that I can get a lot of followers and likes and stuff to give me enough money to be able to drive her around more and do road trips and just maybe travel the whole world. Imagine if I had this car shipped and drove it in as many countries around the world as I can. And that's my promise to you. I will do that if I can get enough likes and enough followers to be able to get enough money because it's not going to be cheap to be able to do that. And I'm going to have special insurance because gosh forbid, I take it into the middle of Africa or Iran or just anywhere, Australia even, right? And I'm in the middle of the outback desert shooting this with kangaroos next to my car, and then some guy comes up like this, give me your car. Well, I'm not gonna let him shoot me. Here you go, clunk. And I need to have insurance to cover it. Uh, Not that I'm probably ever gonna get another one. These cars just don't exist. They don't come up for sale. Luckily, this guy decided he was gonna sell his, and thank you to him for that. Thank you, David, man, because I've been looking for years since I sold my 20, since I sold my 1981 car. Since 2019 when I sold the car, I've been looking for another one. I can't even find an 81 or an 80 for sale. They hardly ever come up. And when they do, man, they just go bum 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 so high because so many people are bidding on them because they don't come up that often. And especially in such a good condition as this with the original paint, the original seats, the original carpet, the original. Now, these aren't the factory wheels that came with it, but the factory offered, I believe it was through Moss Motors or whoever they used to do their upgrades, you could pay extra to get the fancy wheels, right? So you could have the stock wheels, but then when you bought it from the dealership, you could pay the dealership extra to get upgraded wheels, and that's what these are. These are the factory upgrade. It's not an aftermarket thing, right? That they went to Pep Boys, I want to buy upgraded wheels. This is a factory upgrade. It's not made by Triumph. It wasn't made by British Leyland, but it was made by whatever company that made all their factory accessories and their factory upgrades. So this was I have the original factory wheels, but these upgraded ones that the original owner bought when he bought the car are pretty cool. So I'll just keep them on there because they're still the stock wheels that came with it. It was just an upgrade that was offered, and he paid extra to get that upgrade when he bought the car. So it's kind of cool. But I have the original factory wheels as well. They let him keep them. So that's awesome. So I'm going to drive this car as much and as long as I can until it just literally falls apart in 5 pieces. I'm not going to sit there and weld the whole body back together, but that should never happen. It's so solid. It's built so good. Man, let's get another 43 years and then some. 43 years and beyond. Sorry, Disney. Didn't mean to infringe on there, but I didn't say infinity and beyond. Oops, well, I kind of did now. My bad. Anyways, so let's do it, right? Let's do it. Let's give me some followers, and I will literally, as many countries as will let me, ship this car in there or drive it in there if I'm in one country and drive to another one. And I will literally take this car all around the world and get video of me driving in as many countries as I can. Right? Let's set a Guinness Book of World Records for having a US registered car drive in the most number of different countries around the world. That would be awesome. That would be a good Guinness Book of World Records, and I will do it if you guys can get me enough subscribers and followers on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook pages, and TikTok where I can make enough money to make that happen. Because it's not going to be cheap. And maintenance and all that from driving it so much more than just to and from work and just different things. Yeah, I was my daily driver, but I wasn't driving around the world every day, to and from work and different things. So, all right, let's make that happen and let's do it. Yeah. Oh, sorry, little John. I just like, hey, I've been a DJ too. COVID I shut down my company. I was forced to, sold off all my equipment because I didn't have any income and I needed some. I've still got a few things like my mixers and my music and my inverted disco ball. I'll call it. It's a reverse disco ball where the light comes from the inside instead of from the outside onto the ball. You have to see it to believe it. It's amazing. Maybe I'll do a video someday. Let me know in the comments if you want to see that. It has nothing to do with my Triumph, but it's kind of cool, right? A reverse disco ball, an inverted disco ball. But yeah, I used to be a DJ. As you can probably tell, I'm good at talking and stuff, even without the teeth. So I'm just got that excited energy going as I always do. So, yeah, even though my car's broke, I'm a firm believer in God and Jesus, and everything happens for a reason. And remember, we work on His timeline, not our timeline. Sure, would I have loved to go to the Henderson Hot Rod Days and maybe win a bunch of awards and stuff? Yeah, but Do I do car shows for awards? No. The Las Vegas Auto Fest didn't give out no awards. I went there just to show off my car. And nothing against the previous two owners, but when you have it for 43 years and you don't even have it out 60 days between the two of you, it's like, what are what are you letting the car sit there and collect dust for? I mean, how is that really doing the car any justice? It was built to drive, number one, and number two, it's a rare car, and half the people don't even know what a Triumph is, let alone a TR8 is. So it's nice going out there, just going to Walmart to get some groceries or Sam's Club, and just parking and coming out and seeing five or six people taking pictures and looking at it and looking because I got a little thing in there that explains what the car is and my social media and stuff and reading my stuff. And my car's surrounded by people, and here I am coming with my milk and my bottles of cases of water, and they're like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's my daily driver, man." Wow. Or seeing someone who saw these back in the 70s and 80s, or the TR6s, TR5s, TR4s, the Spitfires, and brings back memories, man. They're like, I had a guy said I hadn't seen something like this in over 30 years. I didn't even know any of these still existed. I thought they were all just broken down and just junk in junkyards by now, and crushed to pieces. Yeah, he's like, I literally haven't seen any of these cars anywhere. He's a truck driver and he drives all over the U.S. and Canada and Mexico, and he just hasn't seen any of these on the road in 30 years, driving all over the country and stuff. So, and that's just Triumphs in general, let alone the last year 82 TR8. So he was really enthralled. So I mean, you know, so many people when they see this car, they just smile. Even kids, they go, "Whoa, this is cool, man." I wish they would make cars like this now for us, because this I've had a lot of kids and teenagers say how much better this car looks than the cars they're making right now. And they wish that they could have a car like this. So it's nice just seeing people with a smile on their face and knowing that people are enjoying this car more than just me looking at it sit in my garage every day. That would bring a smile to my face, and it makes me happy. And it is technically, well, not now, it's at Amco still, but when I get it fixed, it will be in my garage, sitting in my garage. But I'm gonna go out and use it and share it with the world. And as these cars become even more and more rare as the years go on, and even less and less of them are out there. Like even the TR7s, getting less and less of those being out there because the TR7 was the same body style, so it kind of looks very similar to this, almost the same as this, minus the badging and of course the engine and different things. But from the outside, it looks pretty much exactly the same. If you, of course, the convertible, they had coupes and convertibles, the hard top and the drop top. I've got the drop top, which is very rare. There was more with the top than without. There was more. Uh, there's less convertibles than there are. You know, than the regular ones with the top. So with the permanent top. But yeah, so I just want to bring a smile to people's faces who have never seen this car and probably never even knew it existed, or have seen it and haven't seen it in so long and thought that there's no more out there and stuff. And I just want people to be happy, and I want to make them happy seeing this car and driving this car around. All the honks I get when I'm trunkers, just people beep 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 is driving on, and they're like this, and just yeah, it's just fun, it's just seeing people smile just driving down the street. So um that brings a lot more joy to me than it does just having it sit in my garage. So hopefully I can get this clutch fixed soon and get this car back on the road. All right, thanks guys, gals. I'll come out with more videos as I can. And once obviously it's fixed. Until then, don't really have much to say. Maybe I'll make another video here in a week or so. I've got so much money saved up. Oh, I found someone who's gonna fix the clutch, or I didn't find someone yet. If you know someone, have them reach out. Put down in the comments their stuff. If you have an idea what clutch I should buy, email me the link, or put it down the name and stuff in the description, because I don't think they let you add links in the description. Well, I know Facebook does. I don't like YouTube. Sometimes they'll delete comments. They think it's spam or something. So email me if it's on YouTube. Because sometimes like I've had it where I posted links and I'm not spam, but it doesn't show my comment because it thinks I'm spam or something because I added a link. Oh boy. Anyways, yeah, so thank you very much and thank you for listening to this long video and enjoy the rest of your day. Even though I don't have my car, even though I'm unemployed after losing my job, being laid off, and I haven't even got my unemployment yet, guess what? I'm breathing. I'm living. I have enough food to last me for a minute. So, life is good. Life is good. And the fact that I was even able to buy this car after, what, 6 years of looking for, not even looking for an 82, right? Looking for an 81 or an 80 or maybe a 79 or 78 just to have another Triumph. Finding the rarest of them all the last year, man. It was meant to be. It was meant to be. Just the fact that God put this car and I had the money already from the insurance, his insurance, since the accident was his fault, to buy this car. So and my dad helping me out a little bit and stuff and with the towing and different things. Saying shout out, thank you to him. I'm gonna get him repaid too and stuff. My sister helped me out a little bit once with the alternator. Got her basically paid back. I just a little bit left. I'm gonna get her paid back now. But once my unemployment kicks in. So thank you to everyone who's helped me. Thank you to everyone who's already emailed me about the clutch and different things. Um, from my first video when it went out uh, last week, when it, or should I say this week, earlier this week when it went out, and I was stuck in the middle of the street on Las Vegas Boulevard, right? Crazy, crazy. Um, Thank you to everyone, and I'll be coming up with more updates here, especially a lot more once the car gets fixed and stuff. And if you know someone who's hiring, send me the info. Uh, I'll take it. But again, preferably 20 and up and preferably IT or social media or digital marketing or something like that. But I'm open to pretty much anything providing the pay is decent, okay? I have managerial experience, I have warehousing experience, I have extensive computer networking experience, online social media digital marketing experience. I'm a great driver. Um, you name it. So I've got a lot of experience and I've done a lot of brand ambassador stuff that I went to American Ninja Warrior. Um, so that's cool. I've done um, a lot of things, and I have a lot of experience. So I'm not just your average Joe. I'm very high level. I've had a couple C-level jobs in my lifetime. Like I said, I got laid off at them. Never got fired from any of those. So nothing I could have done. Just like my last job, reduction in workforce. It is what it is. So if you know someone who's hiring, but not entry level, right? Hopefully something a little higher up the ladder, unless entry level's okay. Here's an entry level job that pays 35 an hour. No problem. If I don't know how to do it, I'll get my certifications or whatever I need to learn it, and I'll learn how to do it because 35 an hour for entry level, that's pretty damn decent. So outside of that though, I mean, then come on, right? Outside of stuff like that, just let me know, just email me. Like I said, I'm open to pretty much anything. When you're not working, you're open to pretty much anything. You're not gonna say, "Oh, well, no, I don't want to do that." I mean, obviously, I'm not trying to become a burger flipper at McDonald's or something, but you know, if there's a manager's position and it's decent pay, I would consider being a store manager or something. You never know, right? We'll see. Thank you very much, guys. TR8 Vegas is my username on Facebook. Go to Facebook pages or just go to facebook.com/TR8 Vegas. YouTube, TR8 Vegas. Twitter, I don't really use it, so we'll skip that, but I do at least have something on there so no one steals my name on there. Instagram, it's TR8 Vegas, and then TikTok, it's TR8 Vegas. And TR8Vegas at gmail.com. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have yourselves a good weekend. It's Friday. The weekend is starting. Again, I may not have a car. I may not have a lot of money. I may not even have a lot of food, but I have enough to get by right now. And my unemployment's already been approved. It's automatically approved because I was laid off. So I'll be getting that anytime now. So you know what? I am blessed. I am blessed. It's not about complaining to God about what you don't have. It's about being happy for all the stuff you do. I'm not sitting in a tent on the side of the road, you know, smelling of urine because and shit because I haven't showered in 3 weeks, eating uh, a stale box of cereal I found in the dumpster somewhere, So it could be worse, There are people out there who truly have it a lot worse than me. There are people who take the bus, and I've been taking the bus for the past 15 years of their life because they never got enough money to be able to afford a car, let alone a rare car like this, let alone a Mercedes SUV, $85,000 SUV, Uh, so I mean, I am blessed and I am happy, and God is good. Remember, we're working on His time, not our time, right? If He did everything based on when we wanted stuff to happen and based on our timeline, we would probably have a pretty shitty life because we don't always make the right decisions and we don't always do stuff when it should be done versus when we want it done, right? There's God's time, which is the right time, and there's our time. Oh, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, this, that. Oh, I don't want to wait. Oh, this, that, 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 that. And that's when you start having things not go your way. But hey, it's on your timeline, but things aren't going very well because we're using your timeline. Do stuff on his timeline. He has a master plan for everybody. And if it's not working out now, I know I'm going to sound like Joel Osteen and Reverend Mooneyham, Sean Mooneyham. He's a friend of mine. He's a reverend. He has an online ministry. Check it out. It's amazing. Um, you know, but I'm going to sound like the two of them. Just throw that out there for those of you who would love to follow. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, zoom in. Okay, there we go. He's a really good guy. It's non-denominational, so all the denominations are welcome, and doesn't matter if you're LGBTQ or not. We're open to everyone. I'm helping him out with that. I'm on the board member and stuff. I believe in God, and I believe in spreading the word, and so does he. And it's like it's 2025. You have to act like it's 2025, and people are going to be who they are. So you got to just, Jesus would have accepted people for who they are, even if he doesn't like who they are. Hey, you're still a human. I'm still a human. Love for all, and all, and hopefully everyone loves everyone, just like he loved everyone. So, I'm blessed, like I said, I'm gonna sound like Joel Osteen, but you're blessed. Okay, and you're blessed in your own way. You may not be as blessed as you want to be. Like, hey, I'm not blessed with a working car right now, but I'll get it back. Again, working on his timeline. Maybe there's a reason God did not want me to go to this Henderson Hot Rod Days. Maybe I would have parked. Maybe someone would have had their brake line go out or something and have this 2-ton 57 Chevy whatever smash into the side of my car or something had I gone there or something. Who knows? You just never know. There's a reason that I didn't make this show. And I'll make it next year. It's not like this is the last year they're doing this. They've been doing the show for several years. And there's many more car shows than just this. And again, I don't do the car shows for the trophies. Sure, they're kind of cool to show off and stuff, but I do them just to get my car out there and let people see and smile at. Nothing against people with the 57 Chevy, not trying to call you out or anything or single on you, but there's a lot of them out there and they're easily restored. These, forget about it. Like I said, called all around for different things over the months, 20, 30, 40 different shops, and they won't even touch the car, even consider it. Consider working on it, 57, whatever. You go to a classic shop, oh yeah, no problem. We'll work on that all day. I've had even classic shops who say they won't work on my car. It's nuts. I don't get it. It's so easy to work on. But yeah, so there's a lot of classic cars, and Henderson Hot Rod Day is going to have a lot of them. But how many are as rare as mine? How many do you know that there's only 10 of them in the entire world left that are still, or less, I think even, that are still fully operational and driving around, not just a parts car sitting in a pick apart, So, yeah, I'm not knocking other classic cars, but they're not as rare as this. They don't have the cool factor as this. The V8, when you got a 2-ton car, you need a V8 to get up to 35 or 40 miles an hour. This thing, man, I kid you not. I kid you not. There was this Porsche next to me about a week and a half ago, revving his engine, vroom, vroom, just sitting there, not revving my engine, laughing, not even looking his way, just kind of laughing. I think I looked his way once, and he went something like that, or he did something with his hand. He didn't really. I just kind of half looked. Light turns green. In my rearview mirror, and I see the Porsche behind me in the rearview mirror, trying to catch up to me, trying. Two lights, two lights. Second red light, same thing. Him and me were still up front. Boom! But this this time he passes me up. I won, but he passes me up. Because see, here's the thing. Once I hit 45 or right around there, I think the first light I got up to almost 60. And I realized, oh, I'm almost 60, slow down. But then we caught another red light. Second red light, the minute I hit 45, I kept it at 45 and just kept going at 45. He obviously, Mr. Speed Demon over here, decided, oh, yeah, fuck you. Excuse my language, freak you. And I hope YouTube doesn't block me for that. Freak you, and just kept, obviously. So yeah, he passed me, but he was probably doing like 100 miles an hour. I'm not about doing 100 miles an hour on a 45-mile-an-hour speed limit. I shouldn't have even done the 60. I didn't realize it, and when I did, I slowed right back down. So yeah, I'm not about that life. But I smoked a Porsche twice. Yeah, it wasn't one of the Cayenne SUV things. It was like the little sports Porsche, the little two-door sporty, like 911 type Porsches. So, yeah, man, I'm telling you, this car is fun. I am blessed to have it. I will get it back up and running. I will do more car shows. I will be in the Henderson Outlaw Days next year. Don't worry about it. Forget about it. Let's do it. Yeah. All right, guys. Have a good day. This is the end of my video. I'm done rambling. Thank you very much. Bye bye.